The slaying of Peter Mitchell in 1972 was the first murder in Capitola's 23-year history as a municipality. The murder is especially interesting because Peter Mitchell called it in himself. He dialed the Capitola Police Department, which didn't have 911 at the time, and told the desk officer, "I'm being murdered." There was a possibility the attacker stayed in the area at least for a few hours after Peter Mitchell was killed. One nurse who was walking to work along Soquel Creek later told police that she encountered a man who was dirty and disheveled and seemed to have a head injury. And it appeared he could have been the hitchhiker who is suspected of killing Peter Mitchell, but police were never able to locate him. They sent out a flyer with a sketch of Peter Mitchell's attacker and got something like 30 or 40 tips on who this man could be, and they chased those down but never came across anyone to arrest. In the years since, the police have reopened the investigation from time to time, but never been able to locate a suspect or identify a suspect in the killing. Back in 1972, George Tarragona was one of the first officers assigned to the Peter Mitchell homicide. In the years since the killing, he's retired from the Capitola Police Department, worked for other police agencies, and in 2005 came back to Capitola Police as a volunteer. He's now a community service officer assigned to the investigations unit, and this May reopen the Peter Mitchell homicide.
I'm the original investigating officer of the case. They were knocking on my door saying we had a murder, come down and help us out. It amazes me that over the 36 years no one has confessed to this case and it hasn't gotten back to us. Usually something like that happens, they'll tell a best friend or a relative or a co-criminal or do a jailhouse confession, and none of that has happened. So we don't know if this suspect's still alive, and if he is, he may or may not have had any kind of criminal contact, any law enforcement contacts. But the report we submitted to the FBI is going to be included in a national database. Hopefully we can identify similarities in other crimes.
The first officer on the scene found Peter Mitchell running out of the house, bloody and naked. He collapsed next to the patrol car, named his attacker and described him, and then went unconscious. The house was empty. It was inside, there was blood everywhere, lamps were knocked down, there was a broken stick that police now think may have been used to beat Peter Mitchell before he died.
Our resources were limited at the time. We had some state resources and we had some contracts with outside agencies, like San Mateo County Sheriff's Office had a crime lab. So we submitted some things to them, and we also submitted some pathology stuff from the autopsy that went to a lab in San Francisco, and that lab's defunct. I can't even find where they are, where they went. It's been a couple of months ago that we submitted the other evidence for testing for possible DNA, and so we won't hear the results of that for months because they have other caseloads that they're working on, other more important, not that this homicide isn't important, but they have more recent homicides that they're trying to solve through the collection of evidence and the DNA process. So we're thinking maybe 6 months down the road we might hear something about the evidence we submitted. So when we hired Jim Ruiz, the police sketch artist, to do an age enhancement, this is what he came up with. It's our goal to see that anytime it's possible to bring somebody to justice, that's our job, that's what we do.